Guys, Camper 15 back at it with another video for you guys, and I'm back with another One Piece anime episode review. As we get a flashback, it's funny enough, My Hero Academia, they had a flashback episode as well as next week, but this week, One Piece also has a flashback episode, but that's in the form of Yamato, and it's actually pretty sad. It's actually a pretty emotional backstory right then and there, which now we get the pretty much the full understanding of why she is fueled um to become the person she is today, and why she also claims herself to be Odin. So yeah, the episode starts off with Luffy and Momonosuke pretty much, Luffy's like, all right, let's go up to Onigashima, pretty much. And Momonosuke, we know, is afraid of heights. So the more he gets higher, the more Luffy makes aware of that. He gets scared. They end up falling down, and that's kind of the thing there. Now, Shinobu did say just because Momonosuke aged up, that doesn't mean his childlike, self is still there. So practically his body aged, but his mind didn't age. So you have to still remember, he is still technically like an 8-year-old kid, pretty much. He's just gonna have the body, or he's gonna look like somebody that is much older. Practically, he's gonna look like an adult, yet it's kind of one of those situations. Like, for example, it's like Dragon Ball with the Pilaf game. They wish themselves back to be young, but their mind is that of adults, pretty much. They know that they're adults, but their body-like features are that of, kids are right now what's going on in the Dragon Ball Super manga, teenagers, pretty much. While, this thing is similar to that. So, yeah. Yeah, we cut away from that. It seems like from the next episode preview, we're gonna get more of what's going on with Luffy and Momonosuke. So yeah, but Yamato's backstory, more of the Yamato's backstory. Now we see, before we get to the backstory, Yamato's fighting against Kaido and everything, and pretty much, she's fighting back and everything, and then eventually Kaido stops her, and then he pretty much, is saying, like, you claim yourself to be Odin, you call yourself Kozuki Odin. Well, you need to understand the consequences with that choice that you say you're Odin, and you have to be prepared to be at war, pretty much. Saying, like, well, okay, fine, if you want to call yourself Odin, we'll let you know there's going to be consequences for your actions. This isn't any family squabble or family quarrel. You're calling yourself a man that I do not like, so guess what? You're making me fight you and pretty much kill you. And even Yamato makes a mention, like, you've been trying to kill me all this time, and Kaido's like, yeah, I have. Now, I think the thing was, he was trying to, and we even see in the flashback, he was trying to, in a way, beat the holy, I would say not the holy hell, but he was trying to beat the sense out of Yamato to make her realize, no, I should probably stop calling myself Kozuki Odin, so then my dad will stop treating me so harshly. Which we then get to the backstory. Or we get to more backstory Yamato when she was a child. Obviously, we know she was inspired by Odin, especially the fact that, he gave his life, and that performance he did with the whole boiling pot situation and everything, and she was right there in the crowd watching. And the thing is, a few days after that, so this is like, I think in the episode, like 21 years ago or something like that, 20 or 21 years ago, either or, it matches up regardless. She just was fighting Beast Pirate members and everything, again declaring herself as Odin, and she was saying, I'm gonna open up the borders of Wano, I'm gonna free Wano, and that's gonna be the thing. Now, some other Beast Pirate members, they eventually stop her, but then she actually unleashes Conqueror's Haki. Because we see how some Beast Pirate members, some of these fodder characters, practically, they just knock out. So Yamato had Conqueror's Haki since she was like a kid. Now they don't specify how old she is. I'm guessing she was like probably the same age as Momonosuke, 8 years old. I don't remember her age in the story. I have to go check the One Piece wiki. But yeah, she unleashed Conqueror's Haki from she can unleash Conqueror's Haki from an early enough age. That obviously has something to do with the fact that she is Kaido's daughter slash son, whether you want to call it either or. I'm morally again, if you get ticked off that I address as Yamato as a she, to me, she's a girl. I understand she takes the appearance of, and she calls herself Odin, which would deem her a man. And it's kind of like the whole Kiku situation that goes on there. But you know, I identify her as a woman, and it's already confirmed like she's a girl, anyways. From like I think one of the SBSs Oda did. So you know, either or. I don't really care if you call Yamato a she, you call her a he. I don't really care, to be honest. Either or, it's kind of that of your own opinion. So, so yeah, that's kind of the thing. Now, because of this is spark. This makes the Beast Pirate member like, oh, Kaido-sama, you need to stop the freaking ogre princess. She is tearing us a whole new a-hole, man. And eventually Kaido comes in, and then he just chucks her into this. He chucks her into this prison, and pretty much he's like, yeah, kid, you're staying in here for 1 month's time. And pretty much that's his way of saying time out. And he's like, oh yeah, there's actually one more thing I forgot to make a mention about. You know, there's these other samurai up in this room as well. So yeah, now Yamato again is making the mention of the fact like how she's hungry and everything, and then she wants Odin to release her from her chains and everything. And you know, again, he's even at a young age, she was proclaiming that she was Odin. And Kaido's like, all right, fine. You want to prove yourself you're Odin? Okay, sure. If you're Odin, then that means you're a samurai. So guess what? You're gonna stay in here for a month. Now he drops these he drops this food, like this plate of food, drops these swords, and he's like, and then again he tells Yamato, he's like, see, you know, these are samurai up in here and everything. Oh yeah, you samurai. Here's the thing. You guys have the same amount of time spent. You guys have about a month to make your decision if you want to join my army now. You have no other things. Now, if I come back in here and you still haven't declared, then you're all pretty much gonna die. Now again, Yamato is begging for Kaido to release her and let her free. And honestly, it's kind of messed up by Kaido. It shows you this dude's not a good dad. He's not a good dad. He doesn't care one bit about Yamato. One bit, only if it's to make his whole plans come to realization. Like we even see in the present thing, he only wants Yamato to be the new shogun of Wano, to be the new ruler of Wano, and he gets to do what he wants to do pretty much and sits back idly by. And we know Yamato's not about that whole thing. But practically, I found this hilarious because as she's pleading for Kaido, her father, she's even like, "Oh, Tosan, father, please let me go," and then he's like, father, hold on. You called yourself Odin. I hope you understand the consequences with that. So pretty much he just said, man, please shut the hell up. You calling yourself this other guy. You're not my daughter. You're not my son. You know, or yeah, to him, you're not my daughter. You want to go by yourself, calling yourself Odin? Well, then you're nothing to me, pretty much. You should understand what that name carries. And then he pretty much just closes up the rock door. I honestly got a kick out of it because he was just telling his own daughter to kind of shut up in a way and say, well, yeah, you made your own consequences. I guess you could say it's just kind of his own way of a parent, of what a typical parent said. Well, you made the mistake, so you got to pay for it. So here's your punishment, pretty much. So yeah, it's still kind of messed up now. And even before that was the case, she was proclaiming the fact, well, you know, I'm your child. These samurai have, you know, hatred towards you. That means they'll hate me, so they'll kill me. And that's obviously when Kaido gave his speech. He's like, man, please, you should know what you carry when you speak of the name of Odin, pretty much. So that's kind of the thing. Now, we see one of the samurais get up, and pretty much it looks like, you know, they're going to hurt Yamato, but this guy just cuts this fly in half. And the guy that does this pretty much is Ushimaru, um, and which again he was referenced a few episodes ago by Kawamatsu with the fact that he that Zoro had looked like he had similar traits to him. So we see Ushimaru, which it's not confirmed to my knowledge, but we're supposedly think that is like the ancestor of Zoro, one of Zoro's ancestors in his family lineage potentially. So that's pretty cool. Pretty much, he says you don't need to call me by my name because eventually what happens is the samurais who were rebelling against Kaido. It was only a few days after Odin had died. They rebelled against Kaido's forces, but they ended up getting captured. But they end up giving Yamato the food, and it's obviously kind of a moment that was similar to Otama when Luffy, took her all the way and fed her the good healthy food. It was kind of a similar type of scene where you see this little girl, this kid, pretty much who's just dying of starvation, just eating and being grateful for the food that they are being given. And yeah, it kind of hurts my heart. I do, this episode. I when I read the manga, I loved Yamato's character, but this moment made me truly love Yamato's character. Yamato is like one of my favorite characters in the One Piece storyline. And this episode made me like, damn, I really love Yamato 10 times infinitely more than I thought I did when I was reading the manga. So yeah, that's kind of the thing there that happens. The practically she asked for the samurai's names, but the Ushimaru pretty much says, you don't need to worry about that. Just call us so is so. Our names are nothing at this point anymore. So that's kind of the thing, and we just see how she asked them like, well, I want to be strong samurai like you guys, because she's like, wait, why are you giving me this food? And pretty much they say, look, samurais don't get hungry. And then that's when she says, well, can I be a samurai that doesn't get hungry, or can I be a samurai that, or how does she say it? She says it where it's like, well, can I be a samurai even though I would still get hungry? And obviously they all smile and everything. And we see over a few days they were like training her and everything, and they were just being nice dudes to this girl. And even they do make a mention of the fact like, oh, you're the child of freaking Kaido, man. That shit must suck, man. You got born into a really effed up family, didn't you? Which it's still interesting to see who the hell did Kaido freaking do it with to or I wouldn't say do it with, but who did Kaido get with to freaking conceive Yamato? Like, that's a question even in the manga we still don't know to this point. I need to know who the hell the mom is of Yamato. That's the fact of who the hell is Luffy's mom. We know Dragon is Luffy's dad, but who the heck did Dragon get with to conceive Luffy? That's another thing I want to know. Who the hell is, Kaido's freaking baby mama? Yes, now look, she has the horns like Black Maria. I'm not saying that Kaido and Black Maria got it on, but I don't know. I guess it would make sense if it was Black Maria, but I don't know why he would have put Black Maria as a Toby Robo member. I don't know. I'm just throwing guess out there, but the horns are a dead giveaway to me. But then again, I could say, well, Kaido has horns too, so I should not probably be talking, but it is what it is. But yeah, that's kind of practically it. She's training, then she ends up pulling out. She ends up pulling out Odin's log journey, his journal, pretty much. And the samurais are like, wait, what? Because they were dedicated to Odin. They loved Odin, which is another reason why they also helped this girl. Not only because they saw like, oh, this is just a child. What the heck? Because it seemed like what Kaido was doing with the swords, putting in place of the food, it looked like Kaido was trying to get these samurai to fight each other to the death, pretty much, to kill each other to get this one plate of food, and everything. But obviously that didn't work out because they're all buddies, pretty much, because we all find out that they were daimyos of their own region, and everything. But Yamato pulls out the Odin's logbook. They're all shocked. They're like, wait, that's Odin's journal. Where'd you get that? And she's like, well, I got it at the I got it in the river near Odin, near Odin's tower. And pretty much Yamato's like, I can't read kanji as that good. Can you guys teach me how to read it? So then we practically, in a nice, like, I guess you could say, like, book style, art style in a way, which is like characters like as I wouldn't say stick figures, but you can easily define what characters is. But it would be like, oh, if it was in like a hand drawn, colored like stick figure type of book, pretty much. And practically it's just them reading Odin's log journey about pretty much everything we saw in the Odin backstory and explaining everything about that. They make the thing about, in 20 years' time, if I fall, 20 years, there'll be a new age of pirates that will come to Wano and set it free, and they will be the ones to defeat Kaido. And everything. And pretty much that inspires Yamato to say, I need to live so then I can be there in 20 years, so then I can see the dawn of a new era, pretty much. And then as we get to the conclusion of the episode, we see that the samurai, they're like, you know what? We can't just sit around and do nothing. We won't live long enough to wait for 20 years to see this new era, to see the saviors for our country. Pretty much we're gonna practically, they said, we're gonna get a head start, and we're gonna try to start the fire for this 20-year journey that will be up against Kaido. Pretty much they break out of the prison, and as Yamato's tears as she's watching them leave the prison, they practically we it's more than likely that Ushimar and the other two samurai, they did, well, not they definitely died by Kaido, because obviously they had to fight him and everything. So yeah, and then pretty much Yamato, it cuts back in a great scene, where it just flashes of kid Yamato's face to what she looks like now, pretty much. Well, technically, well, yeah, even though she's in her beast form right now. She's pretty much saying, like, I'm not giving up. I'm gonna free, Wano, whatever it takes, pretty much. And Kaido, again, this whole thing was great animation. They showed Kaido's face like he was a damn demon, pretty much. And he's like, oh, you're just a stupid idiot. You just don't get it. I'm gonna have to kill you to finally make you realize the error of your ways, pretty much. And they pretty much clash. And then the way the 2B continued scene, oh my God, that was fire. What the Conquerors arguing, and then you see the Kaido jab. I'm like, jeez, why do they always have these ending to be continued scenes with a way to end it with these unique, like, animation still? It's so cool. It was so cool. Even though that last bit of the episode this week had like the top tier animation shit, it was still it was still all around a really great episode. We get more knowledge about Yamato. We truly get the reasoning why she got inspired to get to this point where she is at in her journey as a character. So yeah, and like I said, I told you, after seeing this backstory, even in the anime version, it made me love Yamato's character a lot more, and definitely made me emotional and happy and fun. But you can see that this person, she definitely went through a lot. Not only did we see the backstory she had with Ace and everything, but we could tell that this was the moment where she was like, I have to wait for these 20 years. And then when she met up with Ace, she never believed, like, okay, maybe this thing is not working. I can't wait this long for 20 years. Maybe this new era isn't going to come. So yeah, but another solid episode of One Piece. And yeah, so next week it seems like we're gonna get the continuation of Yamato versus Kaido. And then we're gonna get more Luffy and Momonosuke antics from what we see from the next episode preview. So yeah, but anyways, if you guys like the video, leave a like, put in the comment section your thoughts on this week's episode of One Piece, as well as hit the subscribe button if you want to get more One Piece content or any other anime content I upload to the channel and things like that. But till then, guys, stay safe out there and have a great rest of your day or night. Till then, guys, peace.